Denny Blanco. We are here for another edition of It's in the Game podcast here on the Ball is Life podcast network, which you can find on ballislife.com. You can follow Denny Blanco on Twitter and Instagram at I am Denny Blanco. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Randy J. Cruz, Rendy, the letter J, CRUZ. As I mentioned, ballslife.com for the audio. If you're a fan of video podcasts, go to youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast.
Let's get it.
Denny Blanco, my man, how you doing?
Like we always do it this time. I go for mine. I got to shine. New week.
Yes,
new
sir.
NBA topics. I'm excited. Shout out to the family. Listen, guys, we're building something fresh here. We will be on a major network soon. This is early. This is the early stages, and we're going to be looking at these old videos, laughing like, look how far we've come. Look at the studio. Look at the tea we have. Look at the Starbucks we can order off the snap of the fingers. You know. So this is early stages, but we're going to be there soon. So thank you for everybody that's been watching us. Thank you for everybody that's been subscribing on Cruise Control Podcast. Thank you for everyone that's subscribed to us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. We appreciate you.
That's right. Likewise. Again, ballslife.com for the audio, youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast for the video. So, Denny Blanco, we have a new triple-double king in the NBA. His
Talk
name
to me.
Russell Westbrook, 182 triple-doubles, a record that most players now and back then thought would never be broken. We've seen videos of Magic and Gary Payton and Jason Kidd saying that record is untouchable. There's no player that can come into the league and take that record down, which stood for 47 years. But apparently a guy named Russell Westbrook has come into the league, taken it by storm, and is now the new leader of triple-doubles in NBA history. So, Denny Blanco, I know many would say Westbrook does not have a ring, and he's all about the stats and debatable for top 10 point guards of all time. I think he's in that conversation to be there because of what he's been able to do. So, one, what do you make of him breaking the record? Two, where does Russell Westbrook stand among all-time point guards in NBA history, according to you, sir?
That's right, because it only counts when it's according to me, the NBA whisperer, Denny. Listen, you first and foremost, the triple-double record I thought was unbreakable because it takes a lot to get a triple-double, especially from the guard position. So points, usually it's points, rebounds, assists, or you could do points, rebounds, blocks, but usually it's points, rebounds, and assists. And Oscar Robertson, the great O, the big O, Oscar Robertson, do your Googles, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This guy was phenomenal, and I thought his record would never be broken until Russell, the last 4 or 5 years, just started to explode. And some of these stats are ridiculous. So when you're talking about 20 points and 20 rebounds, from the point guard position, I want people to understand something as I continue to give Russell Westbrook his flowers. Russell Westbrook is the greatest rebounder from the point guard position we've ever seen. The greatest rebounder from the point guard position we've ever seen. That's number one. Number two, you have to understand this is not a guy who needs to be on a great team to get assists and to rebound. You could surround him with your bare minimum players, and he will get 10 rebounds, score 10 points, and give you 10 assists. That is phenomenal. So to answer the third question, which was top 10 point guard, dead or alive, I am sorry, Russell. I owe you an apology. See? Guys, Denny Blanco, I have no problem apologizing when I'm wrong. When there's new data, I will apologize. I have no problem doing that. I didn't have Russell in my top 10.
Before, right? Before.
Correct. I did not have Russell in my top 10. After further review, I am so sorry. Russell, you are in the top 10. Right next to the Big O. I have bumped Tiny Archibald out of my top 10. Now, Russell, you are in the top 10 before CP3. Hallelujah.
See,
hallelujah.
You had me going before you mentioned that Chris Paul comment. All right. So like somehow, some way you just have a thing for Chris Paul. I don't know what it is. I don't know why.
Now I have a thing for Chris
Paul. So now
Paul.
Russell Westbrook gets in before Chris Paul, which is like a different topic for a different day. But I do agree that when it comes to the best rebounding guard in history, Russell Westbrook is at the very top. For me, like Jason Kidd was like an all-time point guard who can rebound. He was getting 7, 8 a game. And it's not like Russell was getting triple doubles like 10 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, some real generic triple doubles. He's getting 32, 20, and 17. Like, bro, like you're just going all out, all 48 minutes. And we seen Magic do it. It just 17, 10, and 10. We've seen J. Kidd do it 19, 12, and 11. Like Steve Nash has done it multiple point guards with triple doubles. But this guy is like, yo, I'm getting 30, I'm getting 20, and I'm getting 15. The month of May, he's like 30, 20, and like 17. Like, who does that? And at the point guard position, you know, this ain't no forward, this ain't no big man doing it. And he's doing it. And for the 4th time out of 5 years, if I'm not wrong, he's averaging a triple double. He's not just getting triple doubles, he's averaging a triple double. Like,
shout out to all the big men that are over 6'8" the last 4 or 5 years. Shout out to all the big men in the NBA who are over 6'8" who could not average more than 5 rebounds a game. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're 6'8", and you're trying to tell me Russell Westbrook, who's 6'4", averages more rebounds than you? That's just effort. That's just, I want it more. That's what it is. And Russell, I compare him and other players in the league. I say Russell, unfortunately, there are times where I bang my head against the wall because of his decision making. That is fair and that is true. Right. However, he has Kobe mentality all through his DNA. It doesn't matter if he's playing against a friend, Kevin Durant. It doesn't matter if he's playing against a friend, James Harden. It doesn't matter who he's playing against. He wants to rip your throat out every game. And I love it. I love it.
And you do know there is a Hall of Famer who has Russell Westbrook as their favorite player, right? You know who the Hall of Famer is?
No, please tell me.
Okay. A current Hall of Famer, a more recent Hall of Famer, has Russell Westbrook as their number 1 player in the league right now, or as their favorite.
Magic? I don't know who.
Allen Iverson.
Hey, that's cute.
And you see the correlation. AI was, regardless of injuries, was going to play every single game. Hurt, not hurt, go all 48, take every shot.
2 hours. 2 hours of sleep from the casino.
Right. And do what he can do to make his team win a game, go to the playoffs, go to the finals. So you kind of see the similarities between AI and Russell. But
absolutely,
to do what I'm thinking, like, what is harder to do? To get 182 of these, or to average a triple double in the season? And this guy has done it 4 times.
It's phenomenal. It's not talked about because, you know, it's not championships and he's on the Washington Wizards, who are actually playing better over a period of time. I think quite frankly, Russell coming there was a matter of continuity and chemistry. And I think right now they got it. I think they're developing it. And it seems as if, you know, they're a couple of pieces away from being playoff average, you know, going to the playoffs as opposed to not being in the playoffs. So it's interesting. Again, once again, we're talking about a phenomenal basketball player in Russell Westbrook, who's averaging close to a triple double, and the 20 rebounds, 20 assists. These numbers are just Steve Nash-esque, if you will. And Steve Nash during those times, during his heyday, won the MVP. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, Russell won't win the MVP this year, but he's definitely the most valuable player for Washington Wizards, without a doubt. Even, you could say Bradley Beal. I know somebody's going to yell at me. Someone's going to yell at me about Bradley Beal. So let's just say both of them are very valuable for Washington.
So real quick, for those of you who are watching live on Twitter, on YouTube, we definitely appreciate you.
Yes.
Any questions or comments, hit us up in the chat. Right now, Westbrook is averaging 22, 12, and 12.
Come get this work, little black. Come get this work. You want rebounds, points?
Right now he's at 182. Again, we don't know how long he'll play in the league for. If I say Denny Blanco, can Russell, when Russell retires, will he finish around, let's say, 250 triple doubles? Less than that? More than that? That's the bar.
He's at 181?
He's at 182 now.
He's at 182, and you said 250. Why 250? That's just the window number. That's just the number. I say he has. I don't even know how old he is. I'm just looking at tape, just looking at how he's playing. Mm-hmm.
He's 32.
32?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him 5 more years. 37. I give him 5 more years playing at this level. And yes, so 250 is not out of the it's not out of the wheelhouse. Yes, 250 is definitely doable. You have to understand, this guy does not take games off. He doesn't like to lose. Because every possession, he's attacking you. So I don't see that slowing down. It's just a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. His body's going to slow down.
Right.
His body's going to slow down. But his mental is always going to be, and that's another thing too. As you get older, what Kobe Bryant was saying, you have to find different ways of affecting the game at your pace. At your pace, not the pace that your mind is saying, because your body probably won't be able to keep up with what your mind to do at a certain age. But it's the pace. You have to pace yourself, and I think Russell will learn how to do that, and he has 5 more years, but he'll kill 250. Yes, 250 triple doubles. Right. Mm-hmm.
So that means he has to get 50, 17. He has to get 18, 68 more triple doubles.
Light.
That's a light. I mean, I didn't want to shortchange him and be like, no, I think he could do 300. I think 300 is a bigger number, or 275. But if you end up with 250 triple doubles in NBA history, then we could probably talk about a record that'll never be broken. I can't see anybody else. I could be wrong in 10, 15 years, but I can't see nobody else that's going to get 182, let alone 250 if Russell gets there.
Well, I tell this to people all the time that say that. They're usually right.
Mm-hmm.
But those people that say that like something, will never be broken or never be touched, when I hear people say that, there's always one. There's always one. Watch Wreck-It Ralph. If you watch Wreck-It Ralph, you'll understand what I'm saying. There's always a glitch. There's always a glitch.
There's always somebody.
There's always going to be somebody. You're like, this person reminds me of this person.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be, again. So yes, we didn't think we'd ever see an Oscar Robertson. Then we saw Magic. We didn't think we'd ever see Magic again. Then we saw Penny. We didn't think we'd see Penny again, and then we saw Ben Simmons. You have variations. Didn't think you see Jordan. You got Kobe. You didn't think, there hasn't been a second coming of Shaq yet, but I imagine that's coming soon. So there are always going to be glitches and guys that are going to do it again. So I'm not going to say this won't be broken. I'm going to say it's going to be a while.
A long while.
It's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute, baby. It's going to be. Even in baseball, for example, they thought, Roger Maris's Roger
home run
Maris's record, it wasn't going to be broken ever. And McGuire hit 72. Let's not talk about how he did it, but let's just say he did it. Okay.
For those of you in the chat, if you think Russell will get 250 career triple doubles, a little less, a little more, let us know. We are on the road to the playoffs. Denny Blanco, your favorite time of the year, mine as well. But right now, at the current moment, could be getting a little spicy. Could be getting another LeBron, Steph Curry matchup. It could be Lakers and Warriors in the playing game. And a week ago, it was maybe Clippers and Lakers, and Lakers in Utah, whatever it was. Right now, the LA Lakers, the defending champion, are at the number 7 spot, which makes them in the playing game. Right behind them are the Golden State Warriors. And I know fans would say this: if LeBron's healthy, if AD is healthy, the Warriors cannot beat them. Maybe no team can beat the Lakers at full strength. I know Schroeder's out too. I'm just saying
they're looking at this all wrong. Folks are looking at this all wrong before you paint the picture. The Lakers should beat the Golden State Warriors with just LeBron and AD and whoever else is healthy. Even if LeBron and AD aren't 100%, they should still beat the Golden State Warriors right now. Continue.
And even so, let's say LeBron. Well, you know what? I think he's coming back soon. I was going to say, let's say he's not at 100%. And AD has to carry that load in that playing game. Can they get over the Warriors at least for that game to solidify a playoff spot, even though LeBron might be 70-75%?
Yeah, here's the thing. Yes, I think there's a possibility that the Lakers, would get by Golden State Warriors. I think it's going to go 6, and it shouldn't. It should be a sweep. If we're really thinking about it, it should be a sweep. Now, I know
it's one game though. It's one game.
Oh, it's the playing game.
Yeah.
I am going for one game.
Oh. You think Steph Curry takes them down? You think Curry gets that one game?
The expectation is Steph can't get you one. And I'm going to say yes, he can. Because the expectation back in the day when Philly met up with the LA in the NBA Finals was Philadelphia 76ers was going to get swept. Ivo gave him one.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr is going to sit back and come up with a game plan. I would be very nervous on the Lakers because, again, you're talking about LeBron not being healthy, and I don't even think AD's fully healthy. To be honest, he hasn't played healthy in the last couple of games, and maybe that's because of being out for a period of time. But the fact remains: who is the leading scorer of the NBA?
That'll be Stephen Wardell Curry.
Wardell,
Stephen Curry.
They said Wardell last night. No, was it the day before? What they played? I don't even know who they played.
No, they played last night against Utah. And they beat them.
Okay, so let me I knew I should have stayed for that damn game. Let me just tell you something. They said that this Jive Turkey, Wardell, this Jive Turkey, scored 49 points in 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Say that again. Let me say that again. He scored 49 points in 23 minutes.
Yeah.
And you think the Lakers got something for that?
Listen, man.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son.
There are many Laker fans on my timeline.
Talk to me.
Same as the Knicks fans. I'm just saying, again, just all in fun. Like, you mean to tell me, like, the road for the Lakers to repeat is very interesting now. I don't mind seeing that as a fan. It's interesting television. You win your playing game, you get a spot, and then you go on from there. Now, if you happen to lose that playing game, you got to beat the winner of the other 9-10 matchup. So if they're all healthy, the Lakers should win that game. But I'm not trying to count out Stephen Curry in a one game. You give me a one game. I got LeBron, AD here, and I got Steph and these guys here. It'll probably be in LA. You think Steph can get you one?
All Golden State needs is one to be in the playoffs.
if they
One
beat the
game.
Lakers, they're number 7.
If they lose, they gotta win the second
other
game
game,
to be in
right.
Okay, so let me tell you something.
Wait. Time out. I think I got it wrong.
Correct me. It's all right. Correct me.
If LA is 7, Warriors 8th. If the Lakers lose, they have one more chance. If the Warriors lose, I think they're out.
Okay. Steve Kerr sits them boys down.
I mean, I'm gonna double check it.
Yeah, double check why you do that. But I just imagine in my head, Steve Kerr sits these boys down in pregame. Says, "Hey guys, it's a playoff game today. You lose, you go home. You're playing against the Lakers. All you need is one, and I'm gonna give you one. We know the game plan. We know what we have to do. We know who needs to get the ball. The guy named Wardell. Get him the goddamn ball. Move the F out the way, and let's hope we can play some defense."
All right, I got it. Real quick, D Money said 250 easy for Russell Westbrook.
Slide work.
If y'all still watching, can Russell Westbrook get 250 or more triple doubles by the time he retires? So right now I'm looking at this. Right now, LA 7, Warriors 8th. If the Lakers win, they get Phoenix in the first round. If the Warriors
I love it.
If the Warriors lose, they got to play the winner of the 9-10 matchup for the 8th spot, which so right now is Memphis and San Antonio.
There's room for error, but the way Steve works, he don't like that. He's like, yo, if the destiny's in your hands, take it.
And as of right now, to be fair, in the Eastern Conference, which could change, Jaylen Brown's out for the year. That's
with what?
Torn ligament in his wrist. He's done. That's why things are getting shaky in Boston, because right now,
that's why they got blown out the other day.
And as I saw last night, right now they're number 7. In fact,
I'm
being lazy right now.
They made Jesus, yeah. No Jaylen Brown on Boston. Oh yeah, the Knicks ready to see them.
Okay, so right now Boston is number 7, Charlotte 8, Indiana 9, Washington 10. So right now, Philly, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, New York, Atlanta, Miami are top 6. So if it were to start today, only 2 matches that we know are Milwaukee against Miami, which is a rematch from last year semis.
I like that.
And New York Atlanta.
New York has a very, very, very good chance to win the first round.
For the Western Conference, Clippers will take on Portland. Ooh. And Denver will take on the Mavericks.
Please let the Clippers in Portland again, please. Please,
that'd be nasty.
Please. I want to see Dave send Paul George home again.
Oh, could you imagine that? Nah, come on, man. If Dame does that, no.
You know he's gonna want to. And if he sends him home in 2 different uniforms, ooh.
Well, right now, Portland is a game and a half over LA, and the Clippers are a game over Denver. But yeah, like you just mentioned, Paul George and Dame Lillard again in the first round. Could you imagine that?
Oh man, Black Jesus is just listening to my prayers, and I said, look, I want the playoffs to be the biggest soap opera we have. I need it to be big. I need it to be huge. And when I tell you the potential of these matchups, I have me so excited. I am over the moon. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
So for those of you watching, if the Lakers play the Warriors in the playing game, who do you got winning? I think, Stephen Curry's a bad guy, man. He's a bad man. And I know Stephen A says about Aaron Rodgers, but Stephen Curry in a playoff game on the road, give me one game to beat the Lakers to solidify my spot. To do that against LeBron and AD, defending champions in Staples. I mean, Draymond got to play well. Oubre, the whole roster got to play well. It can't be because it can't be Curry getting 50 and nobody else doing work. So I know LA would do everything they can to hold down Steph and have other guys get involved. So again, it's for the Lakers. It's all about being healthy enough because we see them. They beat Phoenix last week, but they lost to Portland. It's just up and down. Like I just don't know. Again, without LeBron, I think LeBron is supposed to come back this week. They got the Knicks tonight, and I think they got somebody tomorrow. So I think Houston tomorrow. So we're winding it down. I'm just saying, for one game, all the money in the line. You mean tell me Steph Curry can get you one game on the road to solidify a spot and make the Lakers work for that 8th spot? And the Lakers get 7th, they get Phoenix. If they get number 8, they get Utah. So it's like, who do you want to see in round 1, Phoenix or Utah? If you're the Lakers. Listen.
Let me sidebar for a second, and because I'll have my brain think about that in the background. You know, not for nothing, but Wardell pushes off a lot. Sidebar. Wardell pushes off a lot, bro.
Who doesn't?
People do. I'm saying he does it. He does it more than often. Go to the tape. Watch some tape. I put something on my Instagram the other day. Who was guarding him? Oh, they was playing Milwaukee. He has in his left hand in the corner. You know there's no space in the corner, right? He catches it. He has it in his left hand. Eric Bledsoe runs up on him. You know how heavy and strong Eric Bledsoe is. He runs up on him with his right hand. He stiff arms.
Right.
Eric runs into his hand. He falls down. As he's dribbling with his left. This is Wardell. As he's dribbling his left, he keeps his hand on Eric's chest as he's on the floor.
Right.
And then pulls up.
I bet you went in. Right?
Of course he did. Of course he did. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the Lakers, who would they prefer to play? Phoenix. They don't want to see Utah. You know why they don't want to see Utah? Because Utah is long.
And they got Gobert.
Utah's athletic. Utah got Gobert in the back. So they don't want to see them. They'd much rather see Phoenix because now you're just dealing with technically Booker and CP3. That's what you're really dealing with. I don't believe in Aiden. He's never been in the playoffs, so there's nothing for me to believe.
And Booker too. I love Booker, but he's never been there either.
Hey, he's never been there. Booker's never been there, but the 7 games in the bubble. The 7 games in the bubble showed me what it is when the lights is on and what we need from Booker. What's he going to give? Unlike other players that shall remain nameless. When the lights come on, Booker will be there. He's shown. He has shown.
As your 2 main guys, you believe in a playoff format. You believe more in Gobert and Spider Mitchell over Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
I'm more scared of them.
You're scared. You're more scared of Utah.
I'm more scared. Shout out to Joe Ingles, baby.
Oh yeah. And they got possibly the 6th man of the year too, in Clarkson too. So they got a roster.
You know what? Not for nothing. Jordan Clarkson will win 6th man of the year. He will.
The only competition he has is Derrick Rose, but I think Clarkson's been doing it more.
There you go. Pick up what I dropped. Yeah, I mean, Jordan's gonna get it, but Derrick Rose, honorable mention for 6th man of the year. Man, he should be number 2 in voting. But yeah, Jordan. Yeah, they got the 6th man of the year. They got the former defensive player of the year. They got Utah. They got then they got Spider Mitchell. Hey man, hey, is that what you want to see in the first round Lakers, or would you rather see the Phoenix Suns?
Well, Spider got he got to come back healthy too. He's been out.
He's hurt.
Yeah, he ain't been playing for like 8 games now. He's out. I'm just saying they're probably saving him until the playoffs, which is nice. But when you're the 1 seed.
Shout out for James Harden for getting hurt at the right time.
Listen, man, I know Utah has been the 5 seed, the 4 seed, the 6 seed,
the 1
now
seed.
Now you're the 1 seed. You're looking like 97, 98 Utah, Stockton Malone. Like, all right, if you got to take out Lakers in round one, you better do so because you might be that new 1 seed that might get bumped out by an 8 seed.
Oh, you best.
And you don't want that.
It's happened before.
Of course, 4 times.
It happened. It's happened before. It could happen again, especially the way, again, I keep telling you going into the playoffs, matchups mean things.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the wrong matchup when you see somebody you really can't match up well with, you're in trouble. So if the Lakers, don't get me wrong, the Lakers don't want to see Utah. They'd rather see Phoenix. But if they have to see Utah, it's going to be a long 7-game series. And the thought process is you want to get through a series healthy. You want to win quick and then get rest and then be healthy. That's the goal. So if you're literally taking 7 games to beat a team and then you're getting beat up, the next round, it's going to be 10 times worse, especially against a team that you're supposed to beat in 4 games. Right. If Utah takes 7 games to beat the Lakers, come on, bro. Come on.
If LeBron plays healthy, I got the Lakers, which is, I think everybody's gonna have that. For me as a fan, I wouldn't want Phoenix to lose in round one because they, again, they haven't been there in 11 years. I want to see more of Devin Booker in the playoffs.
Take that out.
It's pretty much a brand new team in the playoffs. To see Utah as a 1 seed, I want to see them go. I want different shit in the playoffs. I don't want the same old Lakers and Clippers and it's this.
You want different stuff, but none of these teams you want different stuff. Guess what? You have the Knicks in the playoffs this year. Voila.
That's right.
There you go. But it took time. It takes time. So
a long time.
Long time. You listen. It's a shuffle. It's a shuffle.
I don't want to spend too much on this. I know this would be more like a retro kind of thing, but the point you mentioned about, first round series, you want the team to win right away and have a whole bunch of time to kind of rest and everything, right? But to go to a 7-game series in round one is like, I've never been too much of a fan of that. I know why they do it. They've been doing it for over 15 years now. I'm more of the fan of a 5-game series because you can go in there, winning 4, 3-1, bing, bang, boom, you're done. You wait to the following series. Like I said, I've always been a fan of 5-game series for the first round, obviously. I don't think they would ever go back to that. But have you been a fan of 7-game first round series? Or are you more like, you know what? I like a 5-game series to be, at least for a first round, done and quick, 5, and we go on to round 2. Are you a 5-game series fan or a 7-game first round series fan?
So let's just talk about it. I understand. Let's talk about the side of business. Okay. The NFL, I wouldn't be surprised the NFL get 25 games.
For a season?
It was like 16 at one point. I think they're pushing 18 now, 19. Bro, money is to be made. The owners want more money. So when it comes to the NBA, the owners and let me take it a step further. It's not only owners because the players make the money too. So we're talking about a 5-game, 2 more games instead of it being 3 and out. You talk instead of it's 1 more game technically, right? Instead of it being 3, you have to win 3 games. Now you have to win 4, right? Mm-hmm. So it's 1 game
for a first round.
And obviously there's some teams that should not be even. The expectation is you're playing an 8 seed, so they snuck into the playoffs. If that's the thought process, and it's like, well, the number 1 seed is playing well all season. Yeah, they get the weakest team in the playoffs, which is the 8 seed. Mm-hmm. But look at this other weird scenario that I'm about to propose.
Oh.
If LeBron James gets hurt in the first round of the playoffs and cannot make it for the rest of the playoffs, how would people feel? Playing in a 7-game series in the first round. That's always a gamble.
Hey, we saw with Derrick Rose when he got hurt. That was a first round against Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. and he's never been that MVP level guy since, and that was 9 years ago.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't
has
jumped
happened.
over. He hasn't jumped over somebody and dunked in a very long time. That should tell you how far away he is from the MVP level, right?
Mhm.
So I bring that up. Yes, I bring up the injuries because yes, you have the money aspect. I understand that it's a money grab, but you saw what happened to Derrick Rose. It can happen where you have a very valuable player or somebody, a player that the team, the league wants to see go far in the playoffs. They get hurt in a meaningless first round playoff series against a team that wasn't even supposed to be there. That's what you're gambling on. So I'm not a fan, but I understand.
I mean, at the same time, to be fair, we've seen some pretty dope first round 7-game series. Like for example, we've seen, like, if it was still, again, it's a advocate here. If it was still a 5-game series, would the Warriors beat the Mavericks in 07 as an 8th seed? Maybe not. If there was no 7-game series in round 1, would the Grizzlies beat San Antonio as an 8th seed? Probably not. But like me, I'm a T-Mac fan. He was up 3-1 with Orlando against Detroit, and I'm like, if that was 5 games, T-Mac would be in the second round. They always clown T-Mac. He never passed round 1. Now, in the first year that they do a 7-game series in round 1, he's up 3-1, and they fucking lose 3 in a row to Detroit, which could have been over a year prior. So, and then plus we've seen Chicago and Boston 7-game series with D Rose going crazy with Ray Allen. KG got hurt. That was probably one of the best first round series of a 7-game format I ever seen. So there are ups and downs. I'm just saying, like, with a 5-game series, you're really going in there like, listen, I gotta get a road game for the first 2. I gotta get a home game. Like, the emphasis is it'll mean more to get it done in 5 as opposed to a 7-game. Like some matchups on the first round, I'm like, come on, bro. You just know it's gonna be a sweep. Give me 3-0 as opposed to 4-0 and stop wasting my time. I'm just saying. Like, you want to see Washington and Milwaukee round 1 7 games? Like,
I agree. I think, like I said, sometimes it's. But again, when I see the Warriors versus Lakers, I want that. I want that. I want as much as that. As much.
Yeah,
and even if it was 5 games, even if it was 5, I would want that. You got that. Yeah. Give me an opportunity to see the Lakers potentially lose a year after they win the championship in the first round of the playoffs to the MVP.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine being the champion and you out round 1 the following year?
Oh, it writes itself. It's gonna be beautiful. It writes itself.
That'd be crazy.
It's gonna be beautiful.
That'd be crazy. All right, so we got that out the way. Real quick, couple things. Apparently, Kyle Lowry is on the Knicks' radar. You know, I'm a Knicks fan. One day is, Lonzo Ball. Next day is they're eyeing Dame Lillard. Now, apparently, they're eyeing Kyle Lowry. Does that mean Kyle Lowry will be a Knick? No. Should they go after him? Should they? I mean, they could do their due diligence. They could find out a couple things and see what's up. But I just don't think that's the point guard they need for the future. Unless they look at a point guard that can kind of win, that can come on board and win now. Like, if that was Chris Paul coming, you're trying to win.
That's not Kyle. That's not Kyle.
To try to win now.
It's Kyle. Let me ask the right questions.
Would Kyle even want that?
Let me ask the right questions.
Go ahead.
Your point guard roster right now, minus Derrick Rose, minus Quickly.
Oh yeah, Lowry goes above Frank. He goes above Alfred Payton. Him and D Rose will be the best, and Quickly will be the best point guards on the roster. But does Kyle Lowry see the Knicks as someone who can win now? I know he got a chip. He may not want one more chip. He might want to mentor people. I have no idea. But does he look at coming here as like a place where I want to end my career, or do I want to go to a Clippers or some other team that might need a point guard who can possibly win now? And is that the point guard the Knicks need to go into the future?
All right. First and foremost, Kyle Lowry has let's say 3 years left. Okay. So I don't know if that's future. That's number one. Number two, Knicks had the opportunity to go after Kyle Lowry. They decided not to. They thought it would. They had already got fleeced by my man, my very good friend, Messiah Jury. What's up, African brother? He fleeced them.
I think they wanted. It was. I think Shumpert was involved in that. Maybe somebody else. So at the time, they didn't want to give up Shumpert and somebody else for Kyle.
And at the time, I told you the same thing I'm telling you now. You have no point guard. You haven't had a point guard. You need a point guard. Give whatever they need up for Kyle Lowry. They didn't. And now, rumor is you're still looking for a point guard, and Kyle Lowry's 3 years older and a championship ring later. So
hey, I wanted them to get Kemba when Kemba was a free agent. They didn't get him. There's been a plethora of point guards. Even if they got Chris Paul this year, I can't be mad at that.
Not at all. Not at all. Like I said,
look at what he's doing to Finn. Could you imagine Chris Paul in New York right now, and the Knicks are the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference?
They'd have 10 more wins. The Knicks would have 10 more wins, strictly off Chris Paul being there. So that make them what? They have 37 and 38, and so they'd be 48. So they'd be like maybe 2 slots up. So instead of being the 6th seed, they'd be the 4th seed. The 4th seed, they'd be the 2 seed.
Paul get the Knicks right now 10 more dubs. The Knicks will be number 1 in the conference.
There you go. You know, people.
But we've been on the show a few times saying Knicks are looking at Lonzo Ball. They're looking at last week Dame Lillard. They're looking at now this week Kyle Lowry. So at least they know what they got to improve on. Just a matter of who's going to come here and who is the proper fit for what they have. Obviously, you're keeping Barrett and Randall and those guys, but if you're trying to find a point guard that can mesh well with them, is Lonzo the guy? Is Dame Lillard the guy? Is Kyle Lowry the guy? If you're the Knicks, which way are you leaning?
If I'm the Knicks, I'm trying to put all my chips in for Dame Lillard. I don't pick up Kyle Lowry because that's a rental. Dame Lillard is all NBA and has given everything he has to Portland. Everything. So, reminds me of somebody I know named Carmelo Anthony, who's given all he has to a team at Denver and then New York, but that's neither here nor there. So Dame Lillard, your best bet. That's who I would put all my chips in if I were the Knicks. And there's a glaring need for a point guard to put me where? Over the top. Not just stay here. Over the top.
But to also break it down for you more, and that's what we do here in the show. If the Knicks get Lonzo, they're gonna have to overpay him $20 million a year for that. If they want Dame Lillard, they got to trade majority of the young guys. Kyle Lowry, I'm not saying get him or they should get him. Kyle Lowry is like he'll be a free agent. All I gotta do is sign him. I trade nobody. I lose nobody. I just add Kyle Lowry to what I got. I don't gotta trade the farm for Dame Lillard, which I would love Dame Lillard. I don't have to overpay for Lonzo Ball. So I'm thinking they're trying to get, not saying the easy path, but it's like, hey, listen, if I get a 33-year-old point guard, world champion, to come on here and kind of do what Chris Paul did in Phoenix to do that here in New York, to put Kyle Lowry with Randall, with Barrett, with Obi, with Quickly, with Knox, with D Rose and with Nerlens and Mitchell Robinson. Okay, all I gotta do is sign you. To how much money and how many years? That's the part I don't know. But if I can get someone off free agency to help my team right now, like that's the better scenario for them. Who's the better player? Obviously, I'll take Dame Lillard. But I don't think they want to trade the young guys for him. And do they want to overpay for Lonzo Ball? I don't know.
But let me ask you a question. When Toronto sold the farm for a guy named Kawhi Leonard, how'd that turn out?
Well, they traded DeMar DeRozan and Danny Green. No, San Antonio traded Kawhi and Danny Green to Toronto for DeRozan.
They just got DeRozan.
That's not the farm.
It's not the farm. They want a chip, right?
I'm trading you my best player
What
for your
about
best player.
Yeah, that's not the farm. So then maybe that's a bad example. So what about AD? When the Lakers traded the farm for AD, how'd that turn out?
They traded Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart.
You would say that's a big ass farm, bruh. Moo.
For Ann Davis.
Moo chickens.
Yeah,
and
but they
dogs. It's a
okay,
farm.
hold on, wait, time out. They did that because they already had LeBron James.
I feel you. The Knicks LeBron
I'm not
James
trading
is
the farm.
Randall.
I don't have LeBron right now. I don't have LeBron.
Knicks LeBron James is Randall.
Right, but he's not LeBron.
Come on. What's the guy got to do to be on LeBron's level?
I'm saying
be first team All NBA.
If I'm gonna trade the farm, right? Also, Kawhi's a free agent too, by the way. So you never know. If the Clippers don't win, I'm saying the Clippers don't win, you never know. It could be a Knick. I'm just saying, if I'm gonna trade my farm to get a Dame Lillard, listen. I love Randall. He's been doing great for New York. I'm just saying that the way the Lakers did it, they traded that for Ann Davis to win a championship or bust.
That is my point.
Right.
My point is strictly if you want to win a chip in the first 4 years of the person being there, Dame's your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Dame's your best bet. If you're looking to win a chip 5-6 years down the line, then overpay for Ball and see what happens. Because that's how I'm looking at it. You get rid of the farm, bro. You get rid of the farm.
Listen, it could happen. I'm just saying the Knicks get to a round 2 with Elfrid Payton and Frank Ntilikina and D Rose and those guys, and they lose in round 2. For example, they bring in Kyle Lowry. Are we expecting Kyle Lowry to not only make it to the playoffs, but to get to the conference finals? Because we round 2 last year. This year,
yes, he is.
Does bringing Dame or Alonzo Ball is like, all right, this was our ceiling this year. When they come on board, it's conference finals, it's NBA finals, it's a world championship.
So again, I expect Dame or Kyle to easily get you into the finals or at least semifinals. If you're keeping Randall and you're keeping Barrett, and you're adding Dame or you're adding Kyle, and then whoever else. Mm-hmm. Those 3 as a core will definitely in the East get you a couple of wins as well as position in the playoffs to go at least to the semifinals of the East. Now, I don't know if I can say that for Ball, but I can say that with Dame, and I can say that with Kyle. Championship winning Kyle Lowry. Not Mike Lowry, Kyle Lowry. Mm-hmm.
That's right. I mean, again, it'll be interesting to see where they go, to see how far the Knicks go in the playoffs and what they do to help a need that they've been lacking for so long. Like the last best point guard they had was who?
We talked about this. We took
Marbury, right?
Steph. We talked about the Steph.
Yeah. Last one. Steph was here over 12, 13 years ago. I'm looking for that new Steph. And I want Dame. Listen, I know it's going to cost a lot. Do I think Dame leaves? Maybe not. But if I got to settle for Lonzo Ball or Kyle Lowry, and if it gets me to a conference finals, what can I say?
It's a lot of hope there.
Like, keep hope alive. Always hope. Always hope.
Always hope.
2 more points before we get out of here. Right now, Coach of the Year, Monty Williams, Phoenix, or Tom Thibodeau, New York Knicks?
Coach of the Year is Tom Thibodeau for the New York Knicks. I hear you, Phoenix Suns fans. I hear you. I feel you. I get it. You're number 2 in the West. You were out of the playoffs last year. Now you're number 2 in the West and in the playoffs. So someone will say, hey, Chris Paul makes that happen. That's just the addition. And now look at the turnaround. That's true. That's true. But if you look at the New York Knicks, where they were as a team previous to this year, ranking, defensively, offensive efficiency, all their numbers are up. Again, you have to look at what's in Phoenix prior to CP3 getting there. Dev Book is not bad. Devin Booker is not bad.
Of course not. No,
he's not bad at all. Then they got Ayton. They got a couple of little pieces here and there. So they're okay. Chris Paul put them over the edge. And I'm going to say, me, Denny B, you don't have CP on that roster, they're eking out a playoff roster. They're eking out a playoff spot, possibly. You put CP3 on that roster, they're anywhere between 4 and number 1. Easy. But the conversation is, Coach Thibs gets everybody to buy in, gets a whole culture changed. Literally, the Knicks do not quit. They usually quit in the last 5, 6, 7 years. They usually quit in the first quarter. These guys can be down 20 in the fourth quarter, and I'm not afraid to turn off the TV because they will make a run. They will not stop until the clock says 0. So, Coach Thibs, Coach of the Year, that's my vote, and I hope he gets it.
If you're still watching in the chat, Monty or Coach Thibs for Coach of the Year, Knicks or the Phoenix Suns, let us know before we wrap it up. Last point, I found very interesting is that rapper J.Cole is signed a contract overseas, FIBA, Basketball Africa League.
Man.
I know he has a shoe deal with Puma, but I've seen him play in person. He's not bad, pretty good. Got a jump shot. So when you first saw this, first of all, he got an album coming out too. So the rollout has been crazy. Album coming out. I'm signed overseas. It's crazy. We're never seeing shit like this before. But what do you make of him signing with FIBA? And what do you kind of expect him to do? Like, what do you want from him over there to feel like it's not a failure that he went over there? Like, what do you really expect from J. Cole hooping over there?
I don't expect nothing. What I expect is here's a guy who went to St. John's and wanted to play ball and then stumbled upon rapping and diverted his dream goal of being a basketball player and said, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to be a rapper, and stuck to it for 10 years. Got good at it, great at it.
Got great at it, yeah.
Good at it, great at it. And then he sits back and says, you know what? I think I want to still play ball. Let me go see if I can play ball somewhere. And someone gives him an offer. That just tells me that it doesn't matter when. You can make a decision to do what you want when you want. If that's what you want to do it. If that's what you feel like you want to do it. There's no time waits for no man. Time does not stop for anyone. So if you want to be a clown, you want to play in Africa overseas, you want to talk about the NBA on a podcast, you want to be a bicyclist, do it. And if you can't do it now, don't worry. You can do it sometime. There may be a time to do it later on down the line. That's why I say it's dope.
So in a game 2-11, you, J. Cole, 1-on-1. Cause people don't know you played college basketball, but you had your time.
It's a monster.
You know what I'm saying? So like you got the little jump shot, the little ratchet.
Quick.
So quick off the dribble on some Sherm Douglas type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Google Sherm Douglas. They didn't know about Sherm Douglas, bro. Google Sherm Douglas. They know about him. Sherm. Yep.
You and J. Cole 1-on-1 game 11. Who wins?
He's gonna win. he's going to win 9-11. And the reason why he's going to win because he's 6'3", I think.
Mm.
And I'm only 5'9", 5'10", soaking wet,
So
not playing with the heels.
You can't guard him.
He's 6 foot. He's 6'3". He's gonna post me. That's what they do, bro. They realize like, oh, I can't get around this dude. He's too quick.
Hey, listen, man. Charles Barkley was 6'4" power forward guarding 7-foot power forwards. He ain't complained one time. He ain't say I can't guard Garnett. I can't guard Duncan. I can't guard Sean Kemp and Karl Malone. I'm 6'4", but you know what? He did it. He didn't complain.
You compare me.
I'm just saying.
6'4", 270 Charles Barkley. I'm 5'9", soaking wet, 100 pounds, and then you want me to? I said it's 11-9.
Right.
I said 11-9. I didn't say 11-0. I said I would dance with him outside, and hope to God I get a couple of shots over him, but. Like normally what these big dudes do is they realize they can't get around you quick guards, so they just start posting you. Just smart. I get it.
What's the last question? What's the number for you that will shock you? Like a J.Cole average 10 a game over there. You'd be like, holy shit.
No, I predict J.Cole's gonna average 14.
14 a game.
Yep. I predict he's gonna average 14 a game.
Listen, I don't know if he's starting. I don't know what's his role over there. I know nothing. But
I just know,
he'll average 14 a game overseas.
He's going to average anywhere between 12 and 14 points a game because you have to understand he's going to being taught basketball overseas and being taught basketball here are two different things. You dig what I'm saying? It's just two different animals. Don't get me wrong. If Larry Brown or Coach Thibs went over to Africa and taught, that's different, right? But they're being taught by transplants, people that know the game, and they're teaching overseas, wherever. Whether it's people that taught Luka, KP, they're teaching them, right? Okay, it's different. So every time I see an NBA player, and let's be clear, J. Cole's not an NBA player. When I see NBA players go to CBA, their numbers are like 10 times more, because they just know the game a little bit better. Right. So when I give J. Cole those points, I'm saying he knows the game a little bit better. So it's just a matter of his physical talents coming into play and actually working with him. Once that comes together, it's going to be dope.
Let's see. Between 10 and 14, I think that'll be pretty good for him. As long as he gets the minutes to do so. That's the only way he'll produce on the floor. So congrats to him. Seen him live in person. Great guy. Can hoop. Got a racket. So let's see what's up. You can find Denny Blanco on Twitter and IG at I am Denny Blanco. You can find me on IG and Twitter at Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter J, CRUZ. Find the audio podcast on ballislife.com. Find the video podcast on youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Denny Blanco, my man, always appreciate it. And I catch you down the road, brother.
Playoffs is coming.
That's right.
Playoffs is coming.
And we got some new Retro Room episodes coming up in the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. So for myself, Randy Cruz and Denny Blanco, ballislife.com, we are out.
Ball is life.
That's right.